Hi, Acadiana. I'm meteorologist Dave Baker. Welcome to your Thursday. It's October the 24th. Another crisp and cool morning across the region, although we have had some fog developing as the temperatures and the dew points are getting a little closer together. That humidity level starts to top out and you end up with those clear skies and light winds. You get some fog out there, and that may cause a few issues for you, but there is a dense fog advisory that's in effect for a large part of the Acadiana region, particularly the coastal sections and our western sections as well, and that'll be until 9 o'clock. So you might need a few extra minutes to get to work and school today because of that fog. Now, I'm not seeing any fog here in the mid-city, but on our traffic cams, you can see that there are areas of fog this morning. So there will be a couple of slowdowns. Again, maybe an extra 5 to 10 minutes is all you're going to need to safely get your way to work or school. And speaking of those kids that are waiting out at the bus stop with those foggy conditions, be extra cautious as you're driving around. Temperatures will be hovering in the upper 50s, but sunshine should be with us later this afternoon with a few clouds mixing in with temperatures running in the 80s. Most of the area has dropped down into the 50s and lower 60s and a few 40s over the extreme northern sections, but even with that little bit of moisture in place that's creating the fog, it's still not nearly enough to create any rainfall. It's been a full month now since we've had measurable rain here in Lafayette, and it just did a quick look back in the record books, at least for Lafayette. And I went all the way back even through the drought of last summer and couldn't find a full month's time where we didn't have any measurable precipitation. Even during August and September of 2023, when we had those 100-degree temperatures, it still could only find about 20 days in a row where we didn't have any rain. So definitely drought-like conditions, and the new drought update will be coming out later today. As far as our satellite loop, again, you can see some of that fog starting to form there in southwestern Louisiana, as well as along the Gulf Coast. And on the national picture, we have more of a zonal flow as most of the systems are relatively weak. One is going to be passing north of us later today. Another little ripple will kind of move north of us as we go toward the latter part of the week. But with that zonal flow in place, you just don't get any major storm systems to move across the country. So it looks like things are going to be staying relatively quiet here from coast to coast. But later on, we'll probably see a front kind of sliding in here this weekend that will drop the dew points. It's not going to bring us any rain, unfortunately. It will actually bring us some drier and slightly cooler air for the weekend. But by the time we get into the middle part of next week, it looks like a more significant trough is going to start to move across the mid part of the country, and that'll at least give us a slight chance for some showers toward next week. As far as our skies today, after the fog burns off, I do think skies will be partly to mostly sunny. And as far as any rainfall, I don't think we're going to see any of that for a number of days, probably at least another 6 or 7 days before we even get a chance for some of that rain. Temperatures will be fairly seasonable, running a little bit above normal. We should be in the mid-80s for highs and a little above normal at night too, with temperatures dropping down to around 60. And I do believe fog will be present again early Friday morning. If you're planning on doing some boating, you'll have some fog along the coast early on. But once the sunshine returns, we'll see some decent conditions out there. Light winds out of the east-southeast at about 5 to 10 knots and seas running about 1 to 2 feet. Some high thin clouds moving across the central part of the Gulf. We've got a tropical wave that's approaching the southern windward islands there right along the South American coast. There's an ample amount of moisture there moving across the tropical zones there between Africa and South America, but nothing looks to be developing here over the next several days. That's according to the National Hurricane Center. But I will tell you, we've got a couple of models in the extended version that go out about 10 days or so, showing some significant development over the western part of the Caribbean Sea going into the early part of November, and there have been some really interesting solutions going even farther down the road. We are going to talk about that on Let's Talk Tropics, but a programming note, the show will not be live later this afternoon. It will be pre-recorded, but it will still be dropped on YouTube at noon at the regular time. So again, it will not be live, but it will be posted at noon a little bit later on today. Your high should be around 86 degrees. We'll see that fog this morning, but giving way to sunshine. 87 tomorrow after another foggy start to the morning. and I think we still might see some fog out there early Saturday, but then some drier air will slide in. So temperatures still quite mild on Saturday afternoon, but maybe a couple of degrees cooler as we go into Sunday and Monday. Well, I hope you enjoy Acadiana weather today. If you do, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and also turn on those notifications. And don't forget, starting November the 4th, I'll have my weather forecasts on Big 102.1, Planet Radio 106.7, and Freedom 95.1. And in between all of those broadcasts, please follow my social media pages both on Facebook and X. I'm meteorologist Dave Baker. If I don't see you at noon later today, I hope to see you on Friday to kick off the weekend. Have a great day.